Somewhere in the South Atlantic, in the middle of the night, I looked out at the horizon and saw a city. Except there was no land anywhere near us, just water, for miles in every direction. What I was looking at is so bright, it shows up on NASA satellite images the same way a major metropolitan city does. It's one of the largest fishing operations on Earth, and almost nobody has ever heard of it. I'll explain what it actually is. But first, a ton of stuff happened on board while we sailed along the Argentinian coast, through Patagonian fjords, and finally arriving in the most southern town of the planet. This is Ushuaia, the end of the world. Hello everyone, my name is Neal, and in this video I'm going to cover the 4 days that we spent going with the ship from Montevideo down the Argentinian coast to the bottom of Argentina. A lot of different things happened on the ship. So for starters, we had a stargazing night where the lights on the ship were all turned off. We also had 7 musicians from Buenos Aires who joined us on the ship perform classical music. Then we had a Lunar New Year celebration where we had a countdown event, and I got to dress up and perform a traditional lion dance, which was really a unique experience. And then finally, there was also a futsal tournament on top of the deck where 4 versus 4 played in the icy winds. Then we arrive in Ushuaia, which is the end of the world, all the way in the bottom of Argentina. And here I will share with you a lot of the magnificent Patagonian nature that I saw there. And of course, I'm going to tell you what those bright lights were that we saw on the horizon. So let's dive in. The days at sea between Montevideo and Ushuaia gave us some of the best onboard moments of the whole voyage so far. One night, the crew turned off every light on the ship for a stargazing session. No corridors lit. No deck lights, nothing. Just careful footsteps and the sky above. The clouds didn't fully cooperate, so the stars stayed mostly hidden. But the experience of a fully darkened ship floating in the open ocean was worth it on its own. A group of 7 Argentinian musicians had boarded with us from Buenos Aires and spent the following days performing classical music throughout the ship. Apart from the beautiful tunes they were playing for us, having them on board and talking to them was also great for cultural exchange. Then came Lunar New Year. The ship threw a full celebration. Music, a fashion show, games, performances of various kind. My German roommate and I ended up inside a traditional lion costume, doing a traditional lion dance through the ship. It was exhausting, exciting, and one of the most unique things I've done on this trip. The reactions from other passengers made it worth every second under that mask.
すごーい!
In between all of that, I joined a 4 versus 4 futsal tournament on the top deck. The wind up there had already turned icy. We were getting close to the far south now. We fought our way to the final 4 teams before losing to the eventual champions. It was a good workout and even better bonding. And then, at night, the horizon lit up. It looked like a city, a wall of light where there should have been nothing but ocean. What we were actually seeing was an enormous international fishing fleet targeting Argentine short-finned squid. The boats use bright lights to draw the squids to the surface, and when hundreds of them cluster together, the glow is strong enough that satellites in orbit pick it up. As bright from space as a major city, it sometimes is called Floating City of the South Atlantic, and it's one of the largest fishing aggregations on the planet. Almost nobody talks about it, but from our deck it was impossible to miss. From there, we sailed on towards Tierra del Fuego, the archipelago at the very southern tip of South America, split between Argentina and Chile. Our stop, Ushuaia, is known as El Fin del Mundo, the end of the world. It's the most southern city on Earth and the closest city to Antarctica, roughly 1,000 kilometers away. We reached it through the Beagle Channel, named after the ship on which Charles Darwin sailed through here nearly 2 centuries ago, cutting through the Patagonian fjords from the South Atlantic. And Ushuaia itself is stunning, a small town dwarfed by the snow-capped Andes and glaciers rising straight out of the water behind it. I spent the day at Tierra del Fuego National Park, where a sub-Antarctic forest meets mountains, lakes, and the sea. The trees here are hardy, shaped by a climate that doesn't forgive much. It's quiet, remote, and generally just such a peaceful place of natural beauty. The temperatures had already started dropping by the time we arrived, and the layers were coming out. Because after Ushuaia, the most southern city in the world, our ship went even further south, off the continent entirely, into the most remote and isolated place on Earth. So we spent the whole day admiring the beautiful Patagonian nature. And after spending the whole day in the most southern city in the world, where do you think we go? Yes, even further south. We go to Antarctica, the last true wilderness on Earth. follow that curiosity, and meet me at the icy continent. Thanks for watching.